Good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me well. Welcome to EASA. We will start in a very short moment with the introduction presentation. So you can see on the first chair of the front row my Deputy Certification Director, Alain Leroy, who is going to say some words about today and tomorrow's event. Thank you very much.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure being here with you today. A wide audience, even in 2 other meeting rooms, broadcasted, so we have to be careful. We have to stay within the focus. And thanks for coming here today. It's really, for us, an important event. I remember the first STC workshop some years ago. It was on the other side of the Rhine, in a small meeting room, maybe 30 people, and today 150. So quite an achievement. Thanks to you all. And to you all, because you make it a success. Alors, if I can manage. A few key words, and I've been told beyond 3 words, normally people forget. So we've tried to have 3 key words. Integration, communication, and synergy. What do we mean? Very simple. Within EASA, first, we have to start by ourselves, look at ourselves. What do we do? How do we do it? So we have to be more integrated in terms of processes. We have to communicate better. I have to admit, sometimes it could be better. And of course, we have to find synergies. We have to be efficient. So that's within EASA. It's not all. Between EASA and member states, we are a European organization, we have to work with member states, and again here we have to be integrated, we have to communicate, and we have to find synergies. So I think here you see the tone, the mood of this workshop. Really important to work together. But it's not finished, of course. We have to work also beyond Europe. We have to work with bilateral partners, and I see the first row, our best preferred bilateral partners, so welcome. And I'm sure you will have interesting topics for us later in the week, so welcome and do not hesitate to be very interactive. I trust you, I rely on you to do so. So within the agency, between the agency and member states, and with bilateral partners and foreign authorities, even though bilateral partner, we have to work together with working arrangement and so forth. You know very well, sometimes as industry, you need our support and we will be there to support you. And of course, together, the most important, without industry, we are nothing. We are not self-generated, so we work thanks to industry, and not thanks to industry because it's a bit reductive. We work together with industry. Patrick Key, in his recent strategic meetings, has a key word, partnership. And partnership is very important to us. It's a bit of summary of what you have here. Partnership with authorities, partnership with member states, and partnership with industry also. We should leave the old image where we and you and us. No, we work together. Sometimes we may disagree because we are still a safety regulator, so we may have ideas you do not like. Well, our responsibility, our call. But most of the time, if we want to work in a real safety management environment, we have to work together with industry. I know this looks simple, wishful thinking, but still it is a strategic thinking we all should work on. When we say industry versus authorities, already it's not the right way to start. And this workshop here, I would really like to see it as a kind of working together. We have a lot of meetings with industry. Title is Working Together with XYZ. It's not for fun. It's really because we share the same processes. We are safety environment. We have to manage safety together. Your output, is our input, and vice versa. And if we want to work toward a performance-based, a risk-based approach, the keywords of the decade, let's try to work together as partners. And again, safety regulators, sometimes we may take measures industry would not like. But if we explain it properly, at least you will understand why we take the measures. You may still disagree, but it's our right to disagree. Still, we have to go to the next phase. So, a worldwide activity, and of course, our future success and development will heavily depend on our capacity to integrate all of those data, all of those issues together. So, it looks simple, 3 keywords, integration, communication, synergies, but I really believe if we would be able to achieve at least 2 of them, that would be a great success. So, moving to the agenda of the day. Very interesting topics. I will not go through it completely because you will have plenty of time to go through it, but there are key topics very, very interesting to us. LOI, for instance. I'm sure you have a lot of issues here. Military applications on civil products and so forth. And a very interesting one on certification, IASA changes embedded in non-IASA approved design. That's something challenging to us. I'm sure you understand why. It is very difficult to bridge over something and to find the right way to work together. So in a nutshell, that's what you have for the next 2 days. A lot of work, a lot of interesting topics, a lot of challenging discussion, I'm sure, but let's work together. Let's work in an integrated manner, and let's try to get the best out of it. Thank you very much, and I wish you a very fruitful workshop. Ludovic?
Thank you very much, Alain. So I'm Ludovic Caron. I'm head of department, large airplanes department, and I'm very, very happy to be with you today. I'm the second one to be part of the team that is in charge of the show warm-up. So I hope that you're all well woken up and that you're fit for these 2 days. It will be a long run. I have a question for you first. How many do you think you are today? Do you have any idea? How many? How many of you? 100, 200, 300, 400? No, okay, come on. You're already a lot of people. 200? Not far, not far. 140, around 140 people. So we are very happy because it's growing. Every year it's growing. So next time we'll have to meet probably in another place. I don't know. So you're about 141, to be honest. Sorry for the one I forgot. And you're from 97 companies or organizations, and we are very glad as well to welcome our colleagues from authorities, from CA UK, from TCCA, from FAA, from Irish Authority, Austro Control. This is very important for us as well to have this participation from our colleagues of other authorities. And again, welcome to everyone. I hope you enjoy these 2 days. So it's about 2 full days. Sorry for the one that thought it was only 1 day. You will have to find an accommodation for tonight. So we have plenary sessions. We have side meetings at the end of the day. We'll go and rest a bit, and in the meantime, you'll have to work. And we have one room out there, a Boeing room, where we have the video of the show. So you see that there is a camera just there. So on the front row, if you have to look back, never forget to smile. Very important. If you have to justify to your boss, to your husband, to your wife that you've been there, never forget to go in front of the camera at least once per hour. Very important. And much more. So here, much more. It's a bit of a suspense, but basically it's about coffee breaks, lunch that we will all have together. So I have to network a bit. This is very important. I think that we get to know each other better, that you get to know each other better. That's really important moments as well. What now I would like to say, it's not a one-time event, although it's 2 intense days that to be honest, I didn't do anything. So that Carla has been preparing and Nicolas has been preparing a lot. It's not a one-time event. We had last year this industry session during the workshop where I remember standing here and asking you, please prepare a shopping list that you wish EASA, the topics that you wish EASA to tackle in the year. And when I first saw the list, I must say that I thought, to be honest, that I missed an opportunity to shut my mouth. But my second reaction was, okay, let's do it, let's work on it. And today and tomorrow, it's also about sharing with you all we've been doing during the year. It's the time for us to pay you back of your efforts, to gather all your recommendations and your questions. And we have been, during this year, also communicating with you. Carla will also go back on that. And the result is that today, there are a number of topics that you will see in the agenda that are definitely aimed at providing you feedback on what you requested from us. So now I will let Carla explain further what we've been doing what we have been doing during the year, what she has been doing. She did a great job, and I hope that you will appreciate that we really took care about your recommendations.
Thank you very much, Ludovic. So my name is Carla Iorio, and I am the head of section of the Special Airplane and Project section in the larger airplane department. And really welcome all of you in this plenary room, and welcome also to all our colleagues in the Boeing 3 meeting room that are video broadcasted. We are together. That's what I want to say. I mean, it's two rooms, but we are together. First message. And then going back to the message of Ludovic, what we left you with this promise that we were committing ourselves to reply to your request, and we started to do that with EASA responses, matrices, and recommendations. And we reflected internally, we discussed it internally, and the commentaries have been not only at city level, but also at across agency level. You see the people involved. And basically, we have replied in some cases fully, and there was a full agreement with your request, and there was a justification or a substantiation from our side. In our cases, we were not really in line with you. We clearly justified that, but we still supported with some justifications the point. And there were instead cases where we were partially agreed with you, and the point was acknowledged, and these are only examples, but in all the cases, we provided you a feedback. And in some cases, we were not capable to really accommodate a full response, meaning that there was a need, we envisaged the need to really explore more. And this is a case where there was an identification of a topic or a potential topics for this event of today. And this is what is going to be shown to you, either if it was agreed or if it was partially agreed. And here is just an example of three important topics. Overall, what I want to say is that this was with the intention to really enhance our communications, enhance our two-way communications, because for us the workshop is not just getting together, but it's really a working session. It's a way to tackle all the queries that you have, and every query is taken very much into account. And enhancing communication for us was also to create a new channel, and this channel, the STC newsletter, the seasonal technical communication newsletter, was born from an idea of Ludovic, and was designed around this idea, and we created a team inside EASA to provide to you a seasonal communication, the STC newsletter, that the first electronic version was sent to you in springtime. And the summer version is available for you today in paper copy. And this is going to be provided at a seasonal regular level. And just to tell you, for some of you that didn't receive both the matrices and the STC newsletter, we are going to send them back tomorrow morning to all the registered people today again, so for your convenience and to review the information, so that you can also send back again, additional comments. And I really hope that the mandate that Ludovic gave to me at the end of the last workshop, it was kept, and it was kept not just because it was a mandate of my manager, but because I thought about you. I mean, for me, I thought I have to make a step back and I have to put the stakeholders, our stakeholders in front. So it has been done with this intention. And again, welcome, and I have really to thank my team and all the group that cooperated for the matrices and for the newsletter. And now I leave the floor to Nicolas Dupré to go on with the introduction.
Thank you, Carla. So, my name is Nicolas Dupré. As you just heard, I'm PCM at EASA, and I've helped to organize this event. But if you have worked on 737 the past 6 years, you might have received a message from me. So please try not to remember those. You might have wondered why we just kept my colleague with a blue jacket. Gabriele Cardone is actually the masterpiece here on the front row. Without him, we have no presentation and no questions from Slido, so we really need him to stay at his place to be actually the master of the media here. So, about the presentation, I mentioned the fact that Gabriele is being a link for the questions because we would like you to be aware of a couple of rules we would like to keep during this event. So I'm sorry, there are some rules. But you are not too surprised, are you? We are EASA, it's more or less our business. So, we would like you to ask your questions using a tool during the presentation if you have to ask questions. The tool is called Slido. So you can see it here on the screen. This is actually very easy to use. So it looks like a lot of points, but actually it's just a web page. It's called slide.do. And you just have to enter this code STC 2018, so STC 2018. And when you're there, you will be just asked, I think, your name. That's it. So that we can know who has asked the question. There are two main features. One is asking a question, so you write it down. The other one is that you will have access to the questions asked by the other participants. So if you find that one question is particularly good and you would have liked to ask it, instead of asking it yourself again, and we have like 20 times the same question, you can just, like on a famous social media app, just give it a thumb up. And now at the end of the presentation, we will see how many questions are particularly popular, and some questions might be not popular at all, but you cannot give a thumb down, sorry. So, in a nutshell, during the presentations, please use Slido. After the presentation, you are free to use Slido or to ask for the microphone. We have some colleagues in the back of the room who will then stand up and look for whoever is willing to ask a question like that. It was mentioned by Ludovic that there is a camera in the middle. It's not only for having people from the Boeing room following us to be part of the whole event. You will have access to the presentation on YouTube afterwards, like we did for the 2017 event. So this is not going to be tomorrow. Huh? This is not a live stream. This is going to be in a couple of weeks, so by the end of the month at the latest. More rules. Evacuation instructions. We shouldn't be in this situation, but in the improbable case that we have to evacuate the building, as you can see on the photograph, there are two rooms, of course, the Airbus room where I'm standing and the Boeing 3 room where people are seated and following us using the live broadcasting. So basically, use the main entrance and follow the people with the blue band. You might have noticed you all have a red band if you are external. And, well, if you really are stuck in a place with a phone, please call 4 times 1, so 1111, and you will get security on the line. For the rest, it's self-explanatory. You see the running man in green on a white background. So if it's a topic for the cabin safety meeting later this afternoon, the running man, well, please feel free to talk about it. More rules, EASA house rules. Yeah, okay. It's not only specific to EASA, actually. Yeah, so please try to use your phone outside, especially because you will be on tape if you do so. So for confidentiality, it's not particularly clever. Otherwise, yeah, hospitality. We have a couple of things on the slide, some others I would like to mention before I forget it. I know that modern technology is really nice, but obviously batteries are not lasting as long as we would like to. So we have tried to put as many charging stations as possible in the building. So there is one in that corner there to my right. In the Boeing room, we have 2 small tables with some plugs for that. So feel free to use them if you don't have a table. If you have a table and you haven't done that yet, there is a small door in the middle of the table. You can just lift that up. There are some plugs hidden in there. So you can use them, they are all connected. If you, I'm sorry, in the back of the room or in the Boeing free room, don't have a table, then you will have to go to a charging station, or there are some plugs in the wall behind you if you can use them. Yeah, what is on the slide from this presentation? The EASA Bistro is, I think, one of the biggest rooms we have in this building, so you probably have not missed it. You can have a coffee there if you don't find coffee anywhere else. If you want to pay there, you can pay cash, or you can use a card which you can have at the vending machines. We have some machines on the left. They will give you a card you can charge for the 2 days and then go to the fast lane. Otherwise, I'm sorry, but our bistro does not accept credit cards or other bank cards. Yeah, and for our oral health, please refrain from smoking in this room or in any other room of this building. The building is smoking free, actually, so yeah, if you look at the last bullet, we had some discussions about is it right or left. Well, anyway, just take the main entrance, and if you see the Rhine River in front of you, then on your left you will have the smoking area. If you then turn around and look at the building on your right, you will have the smoking area. To make it more clear, there will be a picture afterwards. Okay, perhaps a little bit more technical information. Side meeting will take place today at the end of the day. So some of my EASA colleagues might have some rest at that moment. I won't. I will participate. So I am thrilled to hear about FAA, TPREF 6 and other validation related topics. And so there will be, of course, a cabin safety side meeting, which will be here in the main Airbus room. So people a seat in the Airbus room can stay seated and wait for it to happen. For all other participants of this workshop, even if you haven't asked to participate to a particular side meeting, please take the opportunity to participate. This is no closed event. You can just, try to get a seat. There will be anywhere from the Airbus room people leaving the room, because we will have people who are perhaps not interested in side meetings, but there will be another side meeting for FAA TPREF 6, as I mentioned, which will be in the Caravelle room. So Caravelle will be on the ground floor, a little bit further on the left from where I stand. And there will be a third one related to airlines and small DOAs on the first floor. And this will be Fokker and Concorde rooms put together. So anyway, don't worry if you don't remember all this information. It's in the welcome package you have received. You have in this welcome package a couple of information I have mentioned already about the Slido tool, for example, so don't hesitate to open it. And if one topic is not up to your expectations, we have put a STC newsletter into this welcome package too, so that you can at least have something to read in between. So, last but not least, for Airbus for people seated in the Airbus room and people seated in the Boeing free room, we want to minimize the separation as much as possible. So please, for the lunch, join everyone, especially Boeing free people, join everyone in the foyer. So just next to the Airbus room, we will have catering for everyone. I've been told there is catering organized next to the Boeing room, but it's not for us. It's not for our event. So please try to avoid conflicts there. I'm not in charge of this second one. And we have some transparent boxes next to the main entrance to return the badges you have with the red band. We try to be to minimize our environmental print. So it's better to do that rather than to throw it away afterwards. If you want to collect badges, I mean, it's not forbidden to bring it home and put it to your collection. I know some people do that. I can't. I have no space for that. There are so many toys from my children everywhere, and no space left for my own collections. So, and last but not least, restrooms. I think you have seen some already. We have a very small one which is easy to find. Otherwise, if you go to the bistro on the left, there are larger ones. I can advise to take those instead of standing in line in front of the small one. Yeah, smoking area. So this is the main building. We are sitting in the Airbus room. Or you are sitting. I'm the only one standing here, as I see. Oh, hi Enzo, you are standing too. So the 4 red squares are actually the 4 units of the Airbus room. So this is where I'm standing. And the small red square a little bit on the left, yes, is the Boeing free room. Yeah, that's it. Last thing for my EASA colleagues, as I mentioned, there is one standing in the back. Boeing free room, we have some space left if you want to have a seat there. It's easier and it's perhaps better, depending. It's your decision. Thank you very much, and I wish you all have a nice workshop.
Just before leaving the floor to you all, you know that we have every year the famous certification DOA workshop. And we got many questions why having a STC workshop and a DOA certification workshop. You know, last year we were really successful, 400 plus people for the certification DOA workshop, a very, very high level audience, very good quality of exchange, etc. And the temptation, efficiency gain, cutting costs, etc. would be, we integrate. Again, back to my keywords, we integrate and we find synergies between the STC and the DOA certification workshop. However, when looking at how many have joined us today, people, when we look at the agenda also, a lot of specific issues to the STC industry, globally speaking, I would really continue to argue that despite the efficiency gain effort and so forth, we will keep going with the STC workshop unless you tell us that it is so boring that we have to stop, of course. But in the contrary, and I hope it will be the contrary, use Slido, and for this purpose, I really want to keep this STC workshop and even to develop it further. I think our colleagues here have done a great job to prepare it. Really thanks to you all. I know it's not easy, it's on your spare time most of the time, because I know how tough it might be. Same for you, I know that you have a lot of issues to deal with. So again, our commitment from a user management perspective is those workshops are essential, are key to our exchange, are key to our working together. My 3 keywords look very simple, this slide, but it is very heavy in terms of strategic thinking. If we want to work with you together, we have to listen to you. That's very important. And we have to work with you and we have to exchange. Sometimes, as I said, we have to be aware. We are safety regulator, you are industry, so we may agree to disagree. But as long as we explain properly why we disagree, I hope we will find a consensus. That was my final word here, because this agenda, the way you have worked, the way you have really shown interest to it, show that for us, you and us together, it should be a real success. Thank you. And this time, Carla, I stop talking. Thanks.